How the hottest guy on the hill was brought down by beefcake shots, Downton Abbey decor, and online oversharing.
When you give these little people power, it goes to their heads.
And cowabunga, baby! Would you let your 9-month-old hang 10 like this little dude? America's buzzing about Empire right now. And young Lions Yaz and Jussie Smollett have a sneak preview of tonight's sizzling season finale.
You can't just walk away. I'm not walking away. I'm just going to a different label.
And for the first time on TV, they're performing their brand new hit. Plus, talk about girl power. Becky Hammond's making history as the NBA's very first full-time female coach. And she's hitting the court with our co-host to see if they got game. This is The View with Whoopi, Nicole Wallace, Rosie Perez. And today, actress Raven Simone and ESPN Samantha Ponder are jumping in the co-host chairs. It all starts now.
It's kind of, oh, it's crazy. Welcome to The View, first of all. Welcome to The View. You know, that, what you just heard, as you may or may not know, this is You're So Beautiful by the Empire Stars. Oh, my God, I'm so excited.
Empire does.
And Yaz, who are performing that song live here later in the show. Hopefully everybody's watching, because there's a lot, 2 hours happening tonight on Empire. I'm just saying it. You need to pay attention to what's coming, baby.
I am beside myself. I have to go to D.C. for a lovely event, but I've been up all night trying to think of an excuse. But you know, you never want to use like the sick baby thing if your baby isn't sick.
Yeah.
So I'm dying.
Because she wants to watch Empire.
I'm dying. I'm dying. And it's been the longest week. Like, it's only Wednesday, but I'm like, oh, one more night, and now I have to miss it. So don't tell me what happens.
Well, she's not going to get to see it because she's on stage tonight.
Yes, I'll be in
Fish in the Dark.
Fish in the Dark.
So none of you tell me what happens tomorrow. So I'm going to watch
Don't get on social media anyway.
They
will do it.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, listen, let's start because this is interesting stuff for today, but watch tonight. Anyway, Starbucks CEO Howard Schultz just launched the Race Together campaign, encouraging baristas to discuss race relations with their customers. He says it's a vitally important conversation that needs to be had in America. And the campaign, of course, is being widely criticized and mocked online. What do you think?
Can they do it after you get your coffee? Because I feel like in the morning because I'm a new mom, suddenly drinking coffee all the time, I don't want to talk to anyone about anything, certainly not a serious subject like race before I've had my coffee. But my opinion on this is if you don't like it, then get your coffee somewhere else. Like this is, you know, like if you really want to stick it to Starbucks, you don't like them talking about this, then just go somewhere else.
But it did say hashtag race together. It doesn't sound like it's being negative.
Right. No, I think they're just encouraging people to talk.
Her issue is that, you know, if you're tired, you don't want to engage in conversation, you shouldn't feel obligated. Here's the thing for me. What I miss is the mom and pop coffee shops, because you used to have these conversations normally. It would,
and you would want to talk to them.
And you would want to talk to them. It would be an organic conversation. You weren't on a line and going up to somebody that you don't recognize or doesn't understand. Oh, I got you. You want blah blah blah. You know, because I still go to I make my coffee. I love my Bustelo. You know, but if I don't, I go to my local mom and pop coffee shop. You know, El Cofre on Myrtle Avenue, and they know me there, and we will have these political conversations.
But, like, have you been to a Starbucks ever? Because the way they talk to you, it's like, next! I mean, can you imagine that person yelling at you about race? They're not like, and then if you're, like, back and you don't think it's you yet, they're like, what do you want? They're not, like, they're not diplomatic people. So, you know, I mean, it's New York City, so like they're making a lot of coffee in a hurry, but these aren't people with the time to listen. These are people screaming 7 bodies down the line for a latte order. So
maybe it'll start them talking about it, because I think
don't want it to slow down either.
It shouldn't slow down.
You can yell at me. You can talk to me like that the way no one else in my life can talk to me if you're providing this new mother with her caffeine. Yeah. So I just don't see how like a really important, thoughtful conversation. Like, it doesn't offend me, but
I don't know that. I think that it's part of getting the baristas to say, what do you think of such and such while they're doing this?
They're busy,
but they actually can do more than one thing at a time.
I can't.
Well, that's because you're on this show. It's understandable.
It'll come back?
It'll come back. Okay. But I think it's, I think that the point was to get people having the discussion, because people are very uncomfortable talking about race for some reason. It just, you know, you think, everybody was talking about the first black president. I thought we as people were more comfortable talking about race, and I've seen less comfort about talking about race than I've ever seen before, and it's just kind of freaky. So if there's a way to start the conversation somewhere, I'm all for it. I'll take it if it's at the massage parlor. Not that I go, whoa.
But you can tell, because there's also a story of this dad who wouldn't let his daughter go to a birthday party because the girl was black, and it was so adorable because the little girl sent a letter in pink, all different colors of her marker, and said, my daddy's not going to let me come because he says you're black, but I'm not racist. My mommy would let me come. And it just shows, like you talk about all the time, racism is taught.
It's taught.
And if you just put people in a room, no matter what color they are, they're not going to care.
No.
And we have to start thinking about that now. Stop corrupting the little kids so at least we can move forward and not have a race problem later.
I just don't know how that's going to be fixed at Starbucks. Like, what are they going to say? Like, in their job description, what do they have to...
I don't think it's about fixing it.
I think it's beginning the conversation.
I think it's just because it might be
like, ideally, what should they say to you when you're ordering your Starbucks?
I don't go to Starbucks because I don't drink coffee, so I don't know. But what I don't mind somebody saying is, did you see that thing the other day? I mean, what did you think of what happened in France? Wasn't that crazy?
That was amazing. You know, I'd like some more cream.
That's you know, and so if you know, and then somebody behind you, you know, when you start talking, people are listening to your conversations, no matter where you might be online, or if you're talking to somebody, people are listening. So maybe it sparks a conversation with the people in the 7th and 8th position. I don't know. I just think anything that helps us is good.
They should pay them more, though, if they have to do this.
Well, you know, I don't know. But what about this? Speaking of pay, a 24-year-old rising NFL star, Chris Boland, surprised a whole lot of people by announcing he's retiring over concerns about his head injuries. Now, is this going to make some parents think twice about letting their kids play football? This is a young man.
I hope so. I've seen a lot of people in the sports industry, and I'm a wrestler fan, so you see their bodies deteriorate over time, and you do it for money. You're doing it for a piece of paper. I know what it means, I know, but if you just look at the base of it.
No, some of them do it for the love of the sport. I don't think that it's necessarily just about the money. I think it's also the love of the sport, because how could you just do it for money to take that type of damage? You know, even with basketball players or boxers or what have you.
Or the women who play football.
Or the women that play football, you have to love it, and I think he does love it, and I think it was a very, very tough decision for him, and I thought it was a very, very brave decision that should be respected. And I don't think that it's a negative commentary on football as a whole, but it does bring up the question of safety, and I think it's a good conversation to be had.
I think a lot of guys in the league do play for the money. I mean, it's kind of a dirty little secret.
You cover college games. Are all those guys looking for high-paying jobs in the NFL?
Well, yeah, that's the first. That's how coaches in college recruit players to come, is by saying, I'm going to get you to the NFL. And this is what we teach our kids when they're little, like general population in America.
So you think somebody like Joe Namath only did it for the money?
No, they weren't making much money back then.
No, but that's even still, it was still a lot of money for the time. I don't think that you can make that generalization of
a lot of guys
football players or athlete players just for the money.
I'm not saying that they all play just for the money, but the money is a huge motivator. It's not the same.
In the NFL. Is your husband?
I'm not saying that either. So we're saying the same thing, but I just think that if you make that generalization, that's a dangerous generalization to make.
But then why is it appealing to little kids? It's because we tell little kids, especially young boys, if you can play in the NFL and make millions of dollars, then you're successful. And that's why a lot of guys are willing to sacrifice
their health. But here's the, I think that that you both are right. There are people who just play for the money in all sports. But there are some people who do play for the love of the sport. And also, football is, you know, in some places, football is the life's blood of a town. You know, so it gets
towns in Texas,
folks going. And so I just sort of feel like if that's how he felt for himself, that's a great thing. You know, I think if you're not comfortable doing what you're doing, and you can get out of it, and they let you get out, go. It's okay. You're better for you.
If you have a 3-year-old boy, you hope that he likes golf, because it's so safe. It's so safe. You just stick, and nobody has a golf injury, and even baseball, like you get hit in the head.
Serious golf injuries as Tiger Woods.
Well, if he becomes Tiger Woods, I'll nurse his injuries myself.
And on that note, we'll be right back. That's how it rolls.
Just when you thought the Durst case couldn't get any crazier, guess where he spent last night? Find out.
Our office, and now he says all the scrutiny has become such a distraction, he's stepping down. Now, he put it out there. Should he be surprised that people are a little freaked out?
He's not stepping down because of all the that type of scrutiny. He's stepping down because there was going to be a possible investigation because of his finances and how he used taxpayers' dollars to finance his trips and his mileage and all of that. That's, to me, in my opinion,
Jacob Page, though, from the Hillary Clinton handbook. Those guys have been investigated every second that they've been in office. If that was their standard, we would never have had a President Clinton. We never would have a, I mean, you know, just because half of Congress could be under investigation.
What he did.
Well, no one knows what he did. You're innocent until proven guilty.
Well, he is proven guilty because he paid back $40,000 of the taxpayers' money. So therefore, he did admit that
the office that he has, I can make that happen at Walmart for like at least.
Home Goods.
He should have Home Goods.
I mean, have you been to Home Goods lately?
I mean, it's amazing.
All
the
that
office
stuff
is not that bad. It doesn't look that expensive. You get you some paint, 50 cents, real easy. And
wait,
look at that.
50's coming to paint? Sorry, go ahead.
That would be a story.
I mean, it's not as extravagant as they're making it seem. It would be differently if it was golded, you know, and tufted and stuffed and you know, cashmere walls.
And there is a budget for remodeling your office. It's sad. He was a rising star in the Republican Party. It's sad to see him go.
Now, is it because he's sent out a lot of posts? Well, I mean, what is it?
This is where social media gets you in trouble, though. Because you want to show everybody how awesome your life is, how perfect. You're never taking a picture as soon as you wake up, and that guy's not taking a picture eating a bunch of chips. He's showing the 8-pack or whatever he
needs to show his 8-pack.
He
needs to show it.
But what I have a problem with is these are people that call themselves public servants. And I'm not saying it's not possible to be a public servant and do those. Oh, he's friends with Ariana. All right.
Who was that?
But to make it look like it's the ponytail. To make it look like it's such a glamorous life, to be a public servant, there's just something that doesn't sit well with people when you make it seem like you're serving people. But
they love the Kennedys. I mean, I don't think that's it. I think it's what Rosie suggested, that he might be in some trouble. He didn't like the heat, so he decided to get out of the kitchen. But my point is, a lot of politicians are under scrutiny for a lot worse things, and they hang in there. So it's part of the job these days.
And you don't even have to be a politician. Listen, Elton John just called for a global boycott of Dolce & Gabbana. And after they called In Vitro Baby synthetic. But he kind of might have made an unfortunate choice when he went to get a bag from his closet in the studio. You see?
This is ridiculous.
Now, I will say, he has spent a lot of money over the years with Dolce & Gabbana, so it's not a surprise that he's got a shopping bag that says Dolce & Gabbana on it. And he said, yeah, I got the shopping bag. That doesn't stop folks from boycotting, and it doesn't change what they say.
He's not walking out of the Dolce & Gabbana store.
No.
It's not happening.
No. So
and he's the guy that can hurt them if he's done a lot of shopping there in the past. When he stops, some store's going to feel the pain.
Yes,
right?
they do.
Yeah, they do.
But listen, this was a serious offense, I think, to him. It was offensive to me. Anyone that's benefited from the miraculous science of IVF, I think, was offended by the. I mean, if you don't like IVF, then don't do it.
Yeah.
But I think that boycotting Dolce & Gabbana would be a brave move from people who are rich and powerful and famous. I mean, I've never walked into a Dolce & Gabbana store. No one would ever notice if I boycotted them. But I think it would be interesting if the rich and famous and powerful and beautiful decide to hold up a boycott, because they can make an impact.
There is one actor, I forgot his name, that is donating some of his, putting up for auction some of his Dolce & Gabbana clothes.
He came here, he wrote the book, Warhol, Andy Cohen.
Yes, Andy Cohen. He's donating some of his clothes and seeing how much money he can make to give it back to...
Love it.
you know, people who
Now, what about this? In a new interview with Playboy magazine, former Vice President Dick Cheney says that Barack Obama is the worst president he's ever seen in his lifetime, and also accuses him of playing the race card by saying prejudice has factored into criticism of his policies.
Well, he's a different race, so...
Former Vice President doing an interview in Playboy.
He did an interview.
Can anybody explain that?
Well, Playboy, I can explain it because Playboy, in fairness to Playboy, I don't read Playboy, but from the time it began, from the articles. No, from the time it began, they always had great articles, and they were always highly respected for that.
And James Rose does the interview. You may have seen him on Fox News. He's on Fox News. He's a reporter that Dick Cheney's known for a long time. I wish that Vice President Cheney, who I worked for 7 years and respect a lot and agree with him on foreign policy, I wish he hadn't mixed the issue up with race, because I don't think that President Obama has been a strong president on foreign policy. I think he's done the sort of damage to the country in the globe that Jimmy Carter did. But I don't think it has anything to do with race. I don't agree with his foreign policy, but I don't have any feelings about his race. I mean, I actually
think... Do you think he's played the race card?
You know, not in the way that he suggests. I think people have been very critical of President Obama. I mean, if this is us being restrained by race, what would we say about him if he were white? I mean, I think people are very hard on all presidents.
Every single time. I've never heard of a president that's in reign that hasn't been, like,
George
bombarded.
Bush was pummeled, and I don't think he could have been black, white, green, or purple. Obama gets pummeled.
George Bush was not disrespected in the way that Obama was.
Oh, that is not true. That is not true.
There has never been an elected official that yelled out to him, "You lied." Nobody has ever done that.
What's his name with the black eye said it? Harry Reid. That was in our country.
That was someone else.
Harry Reid called him a liar all the time. Listen, I'm not saying it's a race to the bottom, but I'm just saying that saying someone's policies are the worst in history is legitimate policy disagreement.
You can have that, but the minute you link race to it, because it's not like he was Asian yesterday and came back and was black today. You know, it doesn't work that way. And I have to say, you know, I know we have to go, and I know we're caught on time, but I will just put this out. One of the reasons why people are so angry about stuff that has to do with Obama when it comes to this is because he made it. It comes to race. He made it very clear that wasn't where he was coming from. And so whenever people say, oh, you played the race card, it's an insulting thing. It's like you didn't have anything else to do. And he didn't do it. So Dick Cheney, I know you were hiding at one point. That's all I'm going to say. We'll be right back with even more hot topics.
You have no idea what else happened in those hills, and you'll never look at this beloved classic the same way again after you hear the untold story of The Sound of Music. Next.
Hey, welcome back. You know, tonight Diane Sawyer celebrates the 50th anniversary of one of the most beloved movies of all time on a special edition of 2020 called The Untold Story of The Sound of Music, starring Julie Andrews. And she gives her surprising backstory and lets her in on all the stuff that the camera didn't catch. Take a look.
Isn't it pretty? It's so beautiful. Yeah, I think this was actually my favorite location. We were about to shoot. The second AD came up to me and said, "Can I just tell you something? The little one doesn't swim." I said, "So could you fall forward from the boat and get her as quickly as possible?" I said, "Well, yes." And of course I fell backwards, not forward. Because the boat was rocking. You just see a pair of feet disappearing.
I saw some tape of her coming up going.
Yeah, well, yes, and people were diving in to get her. She was very brave.
You did 4 takes, as I recall. You had to fall in 4 times.
I don't know if he
come out.
4 times they have to fall in the water, dry off, fall again. Behind the scenes, we see Julie Andrews huddled in towels, a bucket used to get her wet for retakes.
Did you get dried off?
No, I know up here they kept wetting us down to match.
Wow.
Wow, I was riveted.
It's quite something. The Untold Story of The Sound of Music airs on a special edition of 2020 tonight at 10 p.m. on ABC. So, the twists and turns, as we said yesterday, keep on coming in the Robert Durst murder case. It's being reported this morning that the New Orleans police have moved him to a mental ward while awaiting extradition to California, claiming he has an acute mental condition. Really? Now you...
amazing to me that no one ever had the thought to say this man is cray-cray, you know? And I just think it's crazy that his defense team is saying, no, he is not crazy, and he should be removed from the ward. And we just need to stay tuned, because this story is just going to keep going and going and going, and it's fascinating.
Yeah, child. And you know, there's a surfer in Puerto Rico. Yeah. Going viral right now for hanging 10 with his 9-month-old baby. Check this out. Now look. I hate this thing. Okay, there it is. Ooh, daddy. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Surfing along. Hey, wait a minute. It's wait. Am I getting born again? Oh, my goodness. Oh, hey, daddy. Yay. And people are freaking out about this.
Okay, wait, where's his life vest, though? You can't do anything with it. I mean, they check your car seat 1,000,000 times when you leave the hospital. That kid's just out there.
He's going to be a master surfer when he gets older.
Yes, he will.
I was terrified of water.
Well, no, they would know, because what happens is that when babies are in the womb, they are in water already. And so when they come out, a lot of women have opt for having their natural childbirth in water.
That's what I want.
In water, so it's very natural. And most babies just automatically swim to the top. And so
you're not going to drown in a womb, though. I mean,
when
this
they
is
give
a little
birth,
different.
sweetie. No. When they give birth, they're in a water tank.
No,
in the water tank, and the baby naturally comes back.
Tank, I would have been into that. But
Well,
no
yeah.
I wanted the drugs birth.
Here's the thing. Master surfers know. It's like people who are on. Remember a couple of years ago, people were freaking out because this couple allowed their kids to go on their boat, and now if you grew up doing this, then it's second nature to you. So, and I'm pretty sure that this man would not put his baby in danger if he wasn't sure he knew what he was doing. So, more power to you. I did it with my kid. Yes, I surfed. I know it's freaky. We are gonna go.
I thought it was scary. I did. It looked scary to me.
Yeah. Well, next time I'll put you on my lap. We'll go surfing together. All right.
I want video of that.
We're gonna go and come right back with Empire stars Yaz and Jussie Smollett. Okay, so everybody and their mama are losing their minds waiting for the season finale of Empire. And right now we have a sneak preview that shows you just.
I love you. I was gonna say that first. I love you.
Yeah, but she said that to you and then had somebody else's baby, okay? You can't trust her. Now listen, man, first of all, congratulations, because yesterday it was announced that the Empire soundtrack debuted at what? #1? And you beat out Madonna, okay? They beat out Madonna. You gotta love it. All right, so Jussie, you've been an actor since you were a little child.
73 years.
Yeah. And we heard that you used Instagram to help you get the audition with Lee. Is that true? And what did you do?
Yeah, it is. I read the script and I just fell in love with it, and I jumped on Instagram and I direct messaged Lee Daniels, and I said, I know you get this all the time, but I sing, I dance, I songwrite, and I'm a musician and I'm an actor, and I'm Jamal Lyon in more ways than one. I don't know why I did it, but
because you knew you could do it, of course.
And the first time that I met him, thank you. And then when I finally did meet him, he said, "You wrote to me on Instagram, didn't you?" I said, "Yes, sir, I did." He said, "You're a smart little kitten." And so about 380 days later, we're here on The View talking about Empire.
I want to learn more about you, Yaz. So you're from Philly, right? And you're a rapper from Philly. Can you tell me about the experience of even getting on the show in general?
Yeah, well, me and my mama, we would go out to, like, schools. Like, for me to build a fan base, I would go out to schools and talk to the kids and try to give them inspiration to build a fan base, because that's what I thought would work. And from there, you know, I got a record deal. And I was focused. I'm a committed person, Whoopi. So, you know, I'm committed. So, you know, I was very into my music and just focused on putting out an album. But then my manager's like, I got this big situation for you, and it could be big if you do it. I did it, and I woke up, I had an email, first class to LA. from Lee Daniels.
There you go.
All right, I got to hear that.
Like they say, the rest is history. The rest is history. And I'm here on The View with you beautiful young ladies.
Well, we are super fans. It's embarrassing, sort of. I'm embarrassed a little bit.
Why are you embarrassed?
Myself, because we're super fans. The last few weeks, too, I've been so stressed about Andre. I haven't been able to sit through it. But, Mama, I want to know, what advice did you give him that he took that sort of led to this moment? Because obviously you guys were in a partnership.
Well, I just told him to stay positive, stay focused. For one, he was young, so I had to tell him, encourage him to stay in school. He stayed in school, got his diploma, and then I stayed behind him, managing him, and told him don't let no one put you in a box, because just because you're a rapper, you can do modeling, acting, you can do whatever you want to do. And
I love you, Mommy. And I got to ask you, do any of the scenes with Naomi Campbell make you sweat?
I'm sorry?
Do any of the scenes with Naomi make you sweat?
The only one we got to be concerned about. That's what I want to know. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. That's right. Go ahead, baby.
I just want to point out that's Jussie Smollett's mother next to
Yes,
mother.
Mom.
Miss Janet, if you write. How many songs have you written on the soundtrack for Empire?
On the soundtrack, 2, I Want to Love You, and I co-wrote You're So Beautiful.
I just want to go back to the plot a little bit, and don't ruin it for me, okay? But I want to know a little bit, like, should I be prepared? Because it was revealed that the father of your child is actually your father, who I hope stays your father.
You are the father. My baby daughter is my sister.
Right. So, like,
it's very Chinatown. It's very Chinatown.
It's very Greek. I'm Greek.
Yes.
Is she going to? Are the brothers going to decide that she deserves part of the Empire too? I mean, is that? I feel like that might be.
I feel like she does.
Well, it's taste.
I feel like she does.
Right?
Well, I want.
Hell no.
That's so not Jamal. He would share.
Trust me, but you know what? Guess who's Jamal's mother? Cookie. Cookie ain't gonna let that happen.
That's right.
Come on now.
Well, she might let her have a little tiny bit. You know who ain't getting nothing? Boo Kitty ain't getting nothing. But I want to ask you this, because this is one of the biggest plot lines, and you know, the homophobia that we see Lucius has for his son. Was this a big deal for you when you read it? Did you say, yes, I can do this, and I think it'll be a great way to get this conversation going? Because in our community, there seems to be this issue. So what do you think?
What I think about that is that I was raised by my mother to be fearless, and if I am an artist, then I'm supposed to tell a story as honest as possible, and that is what Lee Daniels and Danny Strong are brilliant at doing, and Eileen Shaken, who's our showrunner. L word all day. You know, we are here to tell a story, and yes, I would be in utter denial if I said that homophobia in the black community was not rampant, but this is not an isolated situation only in our community. You know what I'm saying? I have so many friends, you know, German and Austrian and British who have the same exact issues. This is a human epidemic, so, you know.
So look, the season finale of Empire airs tonight. Check your local listens. Jussie and Yaz are sticking around. They'll be performing later in the show. We'll be right back with the first full-time female coach in the NBA.
Oh, my God. So, welcome, Becky. I am so pleased to meet you. And what is it like being the first female full-time assistant coach for the NBA?
It's been great. The guys have been so positive, and they respond well to me, and thank goodness Pop is a guy that believes women can do anything men can do.
That's true.
What's it like, though, out of all the coaches in the NBA, Greg Popovich is probably the one that a lot of people are the most scared of. So what's it like working for a guy?
And that's the head coach?
Yes, head coach.
Okay. Sorry.
What's it like working for Pop?
I mean, it's amazing. He's such a brilliant mind. We go to these long dinners, and actually things that we talk about other than basketball are like my favorite moments with him, because you just get to sit there and listen to his stories. He knows everything about everything. I mean, he went to the Air Force Academy. He's just really smart guy, and so I really enjoy those moments.
Okay, do we have time to give us some pointers?
We got to work on our shots.
On our shots, please. Would you do that for us?
I would. I got to tell you, I heard some scouting reports. And Samantha, you're supposed to.
Let's go.
All right. It's March Madness time, so we got to make sure we work on it.
I'm not going to be any good. I'm not going to be. Is that how you throw? You said,
but your form is not bad.
Right.
But you were making them so, you know?
Our thanks to Becky Hammond, and we wish her luck in coaching the San Antonio Spurs out. And we will be right back with a performance from Empire Jazz and Jesse. Stay tuned.
You won't get the full